You've seen those designs. The shirts with the huge print covering every inch of fabric, the leggings that make you stop scrolling. But how can you actually make these products? Maybe you've been waiting to add these to your collections, or perhaps you just want to make one for yourself. Either way, same roadblock. How do I actually design them? Whether you don't know how or didn't even know this was an option, I'm going to show you how to design your first all-over print product in Photoshop, Adobe Express, and Canva using Printful's print guidelines. Just a clean design file ready to upload. Let's get into it. Before we open any design app, there's one thing worth understanding because it'll change how you think about designing these products entirely. Not every shirt is created equal. A regular direct-to-garment shirt has fixed print areas: the chest, the back, and often the sleeves. You design inside that box, and everything outside, it's just plain fabric. But an all-over print garment, the entire thing is your canvas. Front, back, sleeves, even labels, there are no boxes. That's what makes all-over print products, or AOP products, so exciting to design, and why the file needs to be built differently from the start. Printful has two types of AOP products: synthetic and cotton. All-over synthetic prints on polyester fabric. Bold, vibrant, ideal for activewear like leggings, bomber jackets, and athletic shorts. Colors really pop. All-over cotton, also called direct-to-fabric, prints water-based inks directly onto cotton-rich fabric. It's softer and more breathable. Think premium hoodies and everyday tees. Both require the same design process, same templates, just a different feel on the body. We're focusing on all-over synthetic apparel, but the workflow is the same for cotton, so whatever AOP product you plan to make, you're covered. Now, every AOP product, be it synthetic or cotton, has its own print guideline file with its own dimensions. And that file is the difference between a design that fits perfectly and one that doesn't work at all. So don't skip this next step. The Design Maker is great for quick edits, but when it comes to building an AOP design from scratch, most brand owners design with tools like Photoshop or Canva. They work on the apps they already know and then upload the finished file to the Design Maker. That's exactly what we're doing here. And the key to making it work is Printful's print guideline files. Let me show you where to find them. From your Printful dashboard, go to the product catalog and find the product you want to design. We'll use the all-over print yoga leggings as our example. Click here to scroll down to the File Guidelines tab and download the placement files by clicking Download. Once you unzip the folder, you'll find a PSD file, that's the Photoshop file, and a PNG version, that's an image file, so you can use either depending on your app. Dive into the design apps, let's talk about the most common mistakes people make when designing AOP products. Trust me, knowing these upfront will save you a lot of time and frustration later. On products made of thicker fabrics like backpacks and fanny packs, designs tend to print darker than they look on screen. This means colors that are close to each other on the color wheel, like dark pink and red, can end up blending together and losing definition. The fix is simple. Increase the contrast between those colors so each one holds its own when printed. Always delete your print guideline layer before exporting. Sounds obvious, but it's genuinely the easiest thing to forget, especially when you're excited about a design and just want to get it uploaded. And yes, if you forget, the guideline will show up in the final product exactly as it looks on your screen. Grid lines, labels, and all. Use the sRGB color profile when working in professional apps like Photoshop. sRGB is the standard Printful works with, so starting here means no color surprises when your product arrives. Don't overlook the stitch color. White for light designs, black for dark ones. Quick decision, but it makes a bigger difference than you think, especially up close on the finished product. If you're designing AOP bags, the stitch options are a little different. Instead of white or black, you're choosing between clear or black stitching. Fill the entire print area, and I mean all of it. Every corner, every edge, all the way to the borders of the print guideline. If any part of the print area is left uncovered, that's exactly what you'll see on the finished product. Bare fabric, and on an all-over print product, it's impossible to miss. And finally, don't try to match your design across seams. All-over print products are cut from printed fabric and then sewn together, which means even a perfectly aligned design on screen can shift in the finished product. If your pattern is supposed to continue from the front to the back or onto the sleeves, there's a good chance it won't line up. Keep each placement independent and lean into abstract or repeating patterns instead. That way, there's nothing to misalign. Keep these in mind as we go through the design process, and you'll see exactly why each one matters. For the leggings, I'll open the PSD file in Photoshop. This is your design blueprint. It makes sure everything goes in the right place. The template that shows you exactly where the print areas are, where the safe zones are, and what size your design needs to be. From here, drop in your design elements or design from scratch and start building. You can see exactly which part of the leggings you're designing: the right leg, the left leg, the front, the back. For this leggings design, I approached it as if I were running a yoga brand, targeting yoga practitioners and wellness enthusiasts who want something bold and colorful. So I went to Adobe Stock and found this pattern that I loved and knew I could turn into a repeating tile in Photoshop. The plan is simple. Take this pattern, turn it into a repeat tile, and cover the entire print file with it, going all the way to the edges and beyond. Abstract repeating patterns like this are perfect for AOP because there's no precise alignment needed and nothing important gets lost in the seams. That said, if your design has any key elements, a logo, text, anything you need people to actually see, make sure those stay within the safe print area. Anything outside it risks getting cut off in the final product. From here, I'll scale the pattern, duplicate it, and fill the print area, copying, pasting, and merging the flower layers until it's all covered. It's a fairly manual process, but I'll speed through it so you get the idea. While you're working, keep your design layers below the template guidelines in the Layers panel. That way, you can always see exactly how the print will sit on the leggings in real time. One important rule: always cover the entire print area, including the bleed area just outside the safe zone. That's where the seams get sewn together. Leave it blank, and you might see white fabric peeking through when the garment is stretched. Not a good look. For the background, I went with a color gradient, a simple rectangle covering the whole garment, created with a gradient tool using a linear gradient going from a warm brown into a dark pink. And just like we covered earlier, notice how I'm not trying to match the flowers from the right leg to the left leg. Perfect alignment across panels is never guaranteed, so it's not worth designing for. Each placement is independent, and that's by design. When you're done, make sure you hide or delete the template layer. You don't want to upload your design with the guide layer, it will turn out like this otherwise. Now, do the same for the rest of the print areas. For the yoga leggings, that means the front waistband, back waistband, and inside label. Each one gets its own file, each one gets its own design layer. Before you export, a few things to check. Check your design resolution. Your file needs to be at least 150 dpi. Anything less, and your print will look blurry on the actual product. Nobody wants that. The print guidelines we're working with already have the correct DPI set, but you can always double check in Photoshop by going to Image and Image Size right here. Set the correct color profile. Work in sRGB, not RGB, not CMYK, sRGB. To check it in Photoshop, go to Edit, then Assign Profile, and make sure sRGB is selected. If you're working in other color profiles, your colors will look different on screen than they do in the final print. sRGB keeps what you see consistent with what you get. Now, export the file in PNG. Go to File, Export, Export As, and select PNG. Then hit Export. That's your file, done. Then in the Design Maker, upload your PNGs to each placement: legs, front waistband, back waistband, and label. And that's it. Our yoga leggings are ready for fulfillment. Not super comfortable in Photoshop yet? No problem. You can use an online tool like Adobe Express. Think of it as a middle ground between Photoshop and Canva, which we'll get to shortly. For this example, I'll use the all-over print unisex athletic long shorts. Same first step as before, download the file guidelines and grab both the PSD and PNG files. From the Adobe Express homepage, click the plus button to start a new project, then select Custom Size. This is important. You want your canvas to match the exact dimensions of the print guideline file. Adobe Express supports files up to 8,000 by 8,000 pixels, which is plenty. The shorts file I downloaded is 7,922 pixels wide by 4,650 pixels tall, so I'll enter those dimensions here. Now click Upload and select the PNG file for the front placement of the shorts. See how it fits the canvas perfectly? That's exactly what you want. To add your design elements, click Add Content. If you have your own design files ready, upload them by clicking Upload. You can also browse elements for ready-made design assets, and don't sleep on the background section. It's useful for finding patterns and textures that cover the entire garment in a few clicks. You can manage your layers in the top right corner of your screen, and here's an important habit to build. Keep the print guideline layer at the very top at all times. That way you can always see how your design sits underneath it and how the final product will actually look. I also recommend locking the guideline layer so you don't accidentally move it. Click the More Options button on that layer and select Lock. Done. Your blueprint stays in place while you design freely underneath it. For this design, I'm going with a dark Baroque skeleton style, the kind of aesthetic that speaks to goth and alternative communities. Black background, gold Baroque ornaments. Dramatic and unapologetically dark. I found this ready-to-use skull pattern on Adobe stock that works perfectly here, but I won't upload it just yet. In Adobe Express, you can go to Add-ons and add a tool called Motive. Motive lets you generate seamless patterns from shapes or uploaded images, which is exactly what we need. Since I already have my skull image, I'll click Upload Image, open it, then scroll down to Settings, find Spacing, and drag the slider all the way to 0. No gaps between repeats, just like you see in the preview. Then click Add to Page. And just like that, the pattern is done. I'll close Motive and expand the design to cover the entire front placement. Once your design is ready, select the print guideline layer, click More Options, and unlock it. Then, in the same options bar, click the delete icon to remove it. Almost there. To export, go to File, then Download, and make sure PNG is selected as the format. You'll see the dimensions we set earlier, exactly what Printful needs. Click Download. Now head to Printful and upload your front shorts design to the front placement. Look at that. The design covers the entire garment perfectly, no extra steps needed. These shorts also have a back placement. You can design it separately in Adobe Express, following the same steps, or use the duplicate feature in the Design Maker to mirror your front design to the back. Your call. One step you don't want to skip: choosing your stitch color. This is the thread color used when the garment is cut and sewn during fulfillment, so it affects how the final product looks up close. Go to the product section and choose between white and black. I'll go with black since it matches my design best. Once you're happy with everything, save your design. Now let's do the same thing in Canva for those of you who live there in that app. And honestly, same. One thing to note before we start: Canva's maximum file size currently is 8,000 by 3,125 pixels, and some AOP products have guidelines that go beyond that, especially larger items like hoodies or dresses. But before you switch apps, there's a workaround worth trying. If you're creating a seamless pattern, the template size doesn't actually matter as long as your pattern tile is square and truly seamless. Canva can handle it just fine. Here's how. Create a new design in Canva at 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. Build your pattern using elements or pick one from Canva's library and download it as a PNG. Then upload it to the Design Maker and use the pattern feature, specifically the block mode, to tile it across the entire product. Just make sure the spacing is set to 0 and you're good to go. If that doesn't work for your specific design, it might be worth jumping into Photoshop or Adobe Express instead. But for most AOP products, like the ones we're working with today, Canva does the job perfectly. For this example, I'll be designing the all-over print women's crew neck t-shirt, which has a print file that's 3,900 pixels wide by 4,950 pixels tall, well within Canva's limits. To get started, open Canva and click the plus button to create a new design. Select Custom Size and enter the dimensions of your print guideline file, in this case, 3,900 by 4,950 pixels. I know it feels like an extra step instead of just uploading the PNG straight away, but matching the dimensions first means you're designing in exactly the right space from the start. Click Create New Design. Now upload your front placement PNG. Go to Uploads, click Upload Files, and select your file. If needed, expand it to fill the entire canvas. And now, let the creative juices flow. For this t-shirt, I'm taking it back to the 2000s, which we can officially call that retro now, right? Fluid shapes, liquid metal, colors bleeding into each other, somewhere between a Windows XP screensaver and a Sony Ericsson ad from 2003. No hard edges, no sharp lines. Head to Elements to browse shapes, graphics, or even generate images using Canva's AI tool. There's a lot to work with. For this design, I wanted a stripe pattern that covers the entire garment. Canva has plenty of options here, but I'm going to bring in my own artwork using uploads, something I've used in previous designs that fits this Y2K vibe perfectly. I'll apply a filter to make it pop in the meantime, then expand it until it covers the entire canvas. Once you start adding design elements, you'll want to keep your layers organized. Right-click one of the layers, go to Layers, select Show Layers. From here, drag your print guideline layer to the very top. And now it's just about placing your elements, adjusting them, and checking how everything looks under the guideline. Keep going back to Show Layers to make sure your guideline stays on top. That's your North Star throughout the whole process. For the background, I'm going with a gradient. I'll select the background layer, choose the Colors tool, and head to the default gradient colors section. This purple-orange gradient is immediately catching my eye. It's giving 2000s tech energy, which is exactly the vibe we're going for. From there, I'll go up to the Document Colors section, open the gradient for more options, and change the style to vertical, just like this. Then I'll go back to Show Layers, select my stripes layer, click Edit, and remove the filter I applied earlier by clicking File Options and then Remove. Oh, and one last thing. If you look closely at the top part of the front placement print guideline, you'll notice there's a collar section. You have two options here. You can extend your design into it, just as we see here, or you can fill it with a solid color that complements your design. Either way, it will be cut and sewn together as the collar of the finished garment. Just design it directly in the collar section at the top of your print guideline file. This front design is looking pretty much done, so this is the point when I'd move on to the back and sleeve placements and repeat the same process. When you're happy with your design, open the Show Layers panel one last time and delete the print guideline layer by right-clicking and selecting Delete. Then go to File, Download, make sure PNG is selected, and click Download. A quick note on resolution. Canva doesn't have a manual DPI setting, but with the canvas dimensions we set at the start, your file will be right at 150 DPI, exactly what Printful needs. Back on Printful, find the all-over print women's crew neck t-shirt and upload your design to each placement. See how it fits perfectly and hits Printful's quality requirements? Just like the leggings earlier, this shirt is also cut and sewn at the seams, so avoid trying to match elements across placements, either here, on the Design Maker, or on Canva. I'm keeping each placement design independent. Nothing that's supposed to continue from the front to the back or from the body to the sleeves. And don't forget to check the Mockups tab for a preview of how the finished shirt will look. And that's your first all-over print design. You've got the guidelines, the workflow, and the mistakes to avoid. Now go actually make the thing. Curious about what happens after you upload? How these products are actually made? I've got a video on exactly that. See you there.